everyone, and welcome to Take Two Radio Junior. I'm Pam, the president and founder of all Take Two radio shows. And joining me today as my host, as always, is Drea, and who called in last minute. How are you today, Drea?
Okay, I called in last minute because I was promoting, and hopefully we have lots of listeners today. And I'm very excited for this show because this is our first show we're interviewing.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see, hopefully, some skills coming out of Drea today. So, without any further, we're going to welcome. Oops, almost lost my phone there. Josh and Jodi Carothers, the authors of You the Magician. So take it away, guys.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
So happy to be
welcome.
Hi. Thanks so much for having us on your show.
Oh, you're welcome. No, thank Pam for everything. She set it up.
Oh, thanks, Pam.
Yeah, Pam, thank you so much.
Anyway, I would like to start
with
a few questions. I would like to start with a few questions before you start reading your story.
Okay.
My first question is, when did you both know you wanted to write?
Josh and I have been together for about 7 years, and we got married about 4 years ago. And we had both been talking. We talk about a lot of different things in life, and one of the things that we discuss a lot is trying to stay positive in a world that sometimes doesn't always lend to that. It's a wonderful thing, I think, when you can finally find ways to help remind yourself that you're okay just where you are at every moment, and to realize that you can make the changes possible to make your life better and go in a different direction if needed, or to think of a positive place or a positive feeling or a positive next step to take. Because it seems like a lot of times, and even for myself, I find that it's easy to fall into the traps of, oh gosh, this is not so good, or I can't really do this or that, or I put limitations on myself. So one of the biggest things was when I met Josh, and a lot of the discussions we had and the things that we explored together brought us to the conclusion that we're creating it all. So it's great to try to help people create the best next step possible, the best present, the best they can be. And we got back from our honeymoon, and Josh started to write, and the book transformed a few different times, and he has a tendency to want to go from 1 to 10 very quickly, and I always say all the numbers in between, all the steps in between, where people start to grasp the concepts of very basic concepts that might seem big when you're overwhelmed with everyday life. We started to sort of pick apart how to step back and take a look instead of always be influenced and affected by your surroundings. I hope that makes some sense. So,
it does.
But with him kind of shooting off to the moon with some of his ideas, and me saying, hey, we need to be a little more grounded when presenting this stuff because it is very tangible for people. Together we sat down and we kind of wrote back and forth. For a couple years it took us to write this book. We wanted to make sure that we weren't moving too quickly with some of the concepts, or that we weren't honoring people's intelligence, and children and adults alike, to kind of get what they need from each of the mantras that we call them. Each page has a different mantra and a different rhyme scheme that helps you think of fun things that you can remember throughout a day to remind yourself you're in a good place.
Absolutely. That's good.
Josh wants to say something?
So I'll interject real quick. I'm a musician, so I write lyrics and write songs, and so the writing thing has always been in my life, and the book came about was from Jodi. Also writes. She's a stand-up comic. So we were very excited to be like, what were the things that really excited us when we were young about just creating without worrying about having it all edited before it comes out of your head. So we said, there's enough information on the planet that says things are very difficult and arduous and love is hard, life hurts, all this kind of stuff. And we're like, well, since we're in duality, why don't we give the polar opposite so people can choose which way they want to feel about stuff and remind them that they have the choice to choose. And I think that was a big trigger for us, being excited about each other and being excited to remind each other to stay creative. So the book kind of came out of that. Like, it was kind of us reminding ourselves to act as kids again. And I mean in the sense of quit putting on all the limitations before you even get there and just play around and see what happens. And usually that's when you create the most fun stuff, because it just kind of comes out naturally and you can kind of edit it later. So that kind of was the concept. Like, hey, life can be really fun. Why don't we put that energy out there and see what happens? Because that's where my heart's at, and that's where Jodi's heart's at. And that's kind of the agenda behind the book, to remind each other that it's okay to go inside. It's okay to ask yourself questions. And, that's how you learn a lot about yourself.
Wow, it is great. That was an awesome answer. It's always great to have a positive mind, and because people, they always have a mindset of negativity, and that's always, that brings people down. But if you're always positive, you always accomplish your goals, and that's great, and believe in your dreams. Okay, yeah. I have a next question.
Okay, go ahead.
Next question. Feel this book is for any age, and why?
Absolutely. I think that it's for a lot of times, the people who are reading this to their children are contacting us and saying, oh, my gosh, I got so much out of this. A couple of friends of mine have been like, I've been going through a trying time at work, or I've been dealing with a lot at home, and these reminders are very uplifting. They try to get you. One of the things that we'd written when describing the book was we're trying to help nudge people back towards themselves, to trust themselves, to listen to themselves, and to kind of find a peace within themselves. And it's I think just as much for kids or adults as for kids. And it was hard for us to say it's a kid's book even. It has the feeling and the fun of a kid's book, and we want it to be fun and playful, but we think it's helpful for everybody. It's hard for us to put an age limit or an age bracket around who we think this will benefit. So,
and just to add to that a little bit, it's a great question, because when we were writing the book and we were showing people it, they were like, what age group is this? And so our answer became kids for all ages, just in the sense that we literally were going through certain challenges in our life trying to be okay with what we want to dream and create. And we were like, God, if I just was reminded as a child that it was okay to explore and try things out and not worry about something not panning out exactly how you thought, and just keep going and keep trying until you find the thing that works for you. I'm like, I wish I had more of those reminders, because that's what I find myself doing all the time now, is reminding myself, hey, man, it's okay that maybe that's not the most perfect song or not the most perfect lyric in your head. Just keep working with it and, sculpt it more and play around, and it's okay to play. So this was kind of, I'd say, our inner kid reminding the adult of us to relax a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's true. Us adults need that reminder that we were kids once, and we still have that little kid in our heart.
So, yeah. And that's where the greatest stuff comes through. I mean, what's really funny to me is sometimes you hear a kid say something, and it's the most profound thing you've ever heard in your life, because it's so simple, and they're not filtered through all the conditions that we've kind of put on ourselves, so they're just being honest. And when they do that, it's like we have a tendency as adults, I feel, to color situations in a way where we don't want to, strike a nerve or whatever, but sometimes kids just get to the point, and that's what you needed to hear. And so that's what's exciting to us, to be like, how do we bring that energy back, where we're just like, yeah, you don't have to be mean being honest, but you can be honest in a way that maybe more supportive than, I'm not going to give you the full information because I'm scared of what you might think of me. And what I mean by that is, obviously, you treat each other, you do unto others how you be done unto, but still, like, there's something to say when someone just gives you a flat, honest answer about how they feel. And that's kind of where we're coming from.
That's great. And I have two more questions. My next question is about the illustrations. What inspired the illustrations? Who drew them? And they're awesome pictures. I was checking the website, and I'm like, wow, this is so cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to give this one to Jodi.
So the illustrator is an amazing artist named Kendra Sheedenhelm, and I've known Kendra for quite a number of years, and I've always thought she was a great artist, and more recently she has become able to throw herself more into her illustrating. And when we first were going to put this book together, we were kind of searching for an illustrator, and a couple of things didn't pan out. And at the time that we had first started, Kendra wasn't illustrating full time, and so by the time we'd gone through a few trials and tribulations, she was. And I said, I feel like the universe has kind of put us in the same crossroads. So I read the book to Kendra, and she was like, wow. And I looked at her hopefully, but I came home that night and I looked at Josh and I was like, I don't know if she can do this right now. She has other projects going on, and it's a lot. The concepts here, we had nothing to start with. We just said we wanted to hand it to her and let her figure out how to put images to these concepts. And she got back to us, I believe, the next day, and she said, I want to do this. And we were so excited, and she started to show us sketches and a sort of a direction right away. She had this beautiful, friendly bird become the center. The bird is not male or female or young or old. It's just a happy presence. And so she started with the bird, and we loved it. And she started to move in a direction, and we would tell her what we liked and what we didn't. And, a lot of times when you go to a publishing house, they select your illustrator. So you don't really have a say. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they know what they're doing, and maybe it turns out great and you're okay with it. But we feel very fortunate that we decided to choose somebody that knew us as people and knew, where we were at spiritually and in our minds and just the kind of people we are. And she started moving in a direction, and we got to work on this together. So she's an extremely talented illustrator, and she's done other books and a lot of other projects, and she also has a website and a blog. So she's an amazing artist.
Bridge Studios.
And yeah, she was doing graphics for T-shirts and things like that. And we have a page on our website that she's been helping put together along with another web designer, but she helped put a merchandise page on there. So we have coffee mugs and T-shirts and stuff with really fun illustrations and pictures, images from the book. So we have a lot of stuff. Page. Yeah, we have also on our website recently she added a page where there are just black and white drawings of all of the pictures from our books, so people can print them out and kids can draw them or color them, or grown-ups. Yeah, if grown-ups want to color them, they can too. But we just added that to our website. And we're self-publishing, so it's been a very it's been a huge, huge learning experience for me and for Josh, and also for Kendra. I mean, we've learned about printing, the quality of printing, which companies we researched to try to self-publish. Now our biggest obstacle, which doesn't seem so big some days, is trying to get it out there to people. So we're very excited to do this show, to be able to get it out, to get it in front of people, because I feel like it doesn't matter what kind of person it is, they'll be able to benefit from this message we're trying to put out. So right now it's we're very excited. We just put the book out in November, and Kendra finished in early November, and we decided on a cover, and we just released it in mid-November, and we're so psyched. So we feel like this is the year that we're going to get the magic out to people.
That's awesome. Right after the story, you could mention the links and the websites and all that stuff, and also mention it to Pam. We could post it on the Take Two Radio Junior website as well. And my last final question is, after this book, are you willing to write another book?
That's funny. We've actually we've had more than one person ask us that, and I would say yes, actually, because we had such a good time. This is very funny for a husband and wife to work together on stuff like this. Is you really have to be open, and what I mean is like talk about buttons being pushed, about concepts, and trying to agree on certain things, but it really, we had so many concepts we took out of this book, too, that had to deal with, like, how nature cycles worked and kind of different things that were offshoots of the core message of the book. So we've been talking around with those concepts and maybe bringing them back into an extended version of these kind of theories of thought, which is like, hey, just kind of look at your surroundings and check how it works, and that might give you a reflection to kind of how things work inside of you. And so that there might be a sequel to the book. We feel like in our hearts that's probably down the road somewhere. And so you asking is totally another synchronicity of people being like, so when's the next one coming out? So yeah, well, I think that will happen down the road. We're excited. We still have a bunch of stuff written that didn't even make it into this book.
Some of the concepts that we were playing with, we were like, maybe that's a whole different book. And we want to keep things light and fun, but we also want people to
explore
and to also, know that it's safe to step outside of the things you've always thought, maybe take a different perspective on any situation. So
or all situations.
Exactly. So we definitely have a lot of ideas, and every once in a while when we see Kendra, we're like, all right, we're writing another one. And she just goes, okay. So it's been, it took us probably all in all, we would work on it once or twice a week, and we'd have to get in a certain mindset and be together, and we wanted to be positive and happy about it. So as we wrote it, it took about 2.5 years for us to write, and
wow.
And then to figure out what we wanted in and wanted out. And then Kendra was amazing. She would send us different mock-ups along the way. Sometimes she would do 5 or 6 or 7 different angles on a concept we had for a page, and we were just blown away by her dedication and the fact that she would listen to the little things that we would mention that we liked, or she would try to bring more light into certain areas or some more color into certain things or textures that we liked. It was really interesting, and the fact that it's done now after probably 3.5 years of our first initial sitting down and thinking about it, it's a big deal for us. We're very, very excited.
Woo, that's awesome. Thank you for answering all those questions, and thank you for letting our listeners get to know you a little better. So, are you ready to start reading?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to read the book. And we had dedication at the beginning of the book. Josh, he says the book is for all, and all means all, everything. You, me, all of it. And I dedicated to Ivan and Paula, my favorite kids, which are my parents. And Kendra dedicated to her son, Archer, who I was actually a nanny for a couple of years, and he's a great kid. So here we go. You, the Magician, by Josh Carothers and Jodi Carothers, and illustrated by Kendra Sheedenhelm. Since you are reading this book, it is written for you. The path has been cleared. Just follow your clues. We're so happy you found us. Now we can go. What makes you excited? Do you want to know? What if this is a dream? Are you sure you're awake? Follow your joy, for there are no mistakes. If you'd like to go further, then let us explain. Built in you, it's waiting. Just quiet your brain. 5 senses can guide you. Touch, taste, see, and smell here. But you're born with a 6th that can help make things clear. Talk to your gut. Don't be afraid. It wants you to trust it. What does it say? Remember your magic. Acknowledge your worth. With help from your parents, You created your birth. Observe your performance, your daily routine. You make yourself up to teach yourself things. Let's set the stage. Look at life as a game. You choose your adventure. You star in your play. Quest and be curious. There's nothing to lose. Try out new directions like trying on shoes. Stuck in a maze, just change your mind. You'll realize it's you who's in charge at all times. As a daily reminder, tell yourself this: I believe in myself. I create what I wish. Don't be so certain with one of two angles. Take a third point of view to comb through the tangles. There's a lot more to life than what we've been told. If you don't ask the questions, how will you know? No thing is solid. Even science agrees. There are molecules dancing at various speeds. Photons and bosons and waves are unseen. The thicker the substance, the slower they beat. A clock is a loop, not a straight line. When you live in the moment, you're not locked in time. Be open to notice what's right in your face. We've traveled through time to get to this place. There's more to the story than the human race, for we live on a planet floating in space. Some people go left, some people go right. Dividing ourselves has taught us to fight. There's no need to battle. There's no thing to prove when you see that all things are reflections of you. Let your heart drive. It reminds you to dream. It offers the key to awaken from sleep. You are the language of mystery and magic. There's no reason to worry, for life is fantastic. You are the magician, creating and causing, conducting the story, the sound of me talking. The end, for now, or the beginning, for now.
Wow, that was an awesome story.
Yay! Thank you so much, Drea.
Oh, no, thank you for being on the show. That was awesome. You read the story. We got to know you a little bit. Would you like to tell our listeners where could they, purchase the book or how they can contact you and stuff?
Absolutely. We have our own self-publishing CreateSpace account, and also you can get our book on Amazon. Both are very easy to get to, and you also can have a look at the illustrations in the book for free on our website, youthemagician.com. And you go there, and there's a page that says preview/purchase, and there you can read the book. It's a digital version, and you can purchase the book from CreateSpace, which is more directly involved with Josh and I, or through Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, they give free shipping and such. And either way, it's wonderful. Also, we recently got our proofs back from Ingram Spark, which means if anybody likes this book and would like to get their local bookstore to carry it, they can walk into their bookstore and ask the buyer there to purchase our book through Ingram Spark, and it's a very well-known company that distributes to bookstores and independent bookstores. It's not affiliated with any of the larger companies, so a lot of independent bookstores like that, and we want to support them. So, and also, I just pulled up Kendra Schiedenhelm, our illustrator, has a website called kendraschiedenhelm.com, and she also has, what else is that? Is that a...
Big Ridge Studios.
She also is, she has a blog at Big Ridge Studios at blogspot.com. /blogspot.
Twitter.com.
And she's also on Twitter, Kendra Schiedenhelm, SHEDENHELM. And we're also on Twitter and Facebook, and we love to get responses and questions, and we love the back and forth and the dialogue with people about how this makes them feel, what questions their kids have been asking. and it makes us extremely happy. And you are our first sort of reading to the public, and so we're so psyched. We can't thank you enough.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Like I said, thanks, Pam, for setting this up. This was an awesome opportunity for you guys to get your book out there.
Well, definitely, Pam, and I would love to send you and Pam a book, so we'll be in touch very, very soon.
Yes, definitely. I'll send you an email or DM you a message. Always, by the way, like the Facebook page, Take Two Radio Junior, if you didn't already. Follow us on Twitter at Take Two Radio Junior. I also have a personal Twitter. It's at CordraX3. And Pam, welcome back.
Hi, Pam.
Thank you. Hi, thank you, Jodi and Josh. Really, really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know you're super busy, especially today. You got to go run off to a gig, and it's real exciting to know that you're a stand-up comedian, and Josh, you're a musician. I mean, that's just all in the arts form, and I love that. So you guys have a great night and a great weekend, and thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. We'll be in touch again very soon so we can send you a copy of the book, and we thank you so, so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, and have a wonderful week.
You too as well.
You
have
too.
a wonderful week.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Drea, that was a great show. I absolutely love listening to them read the book, and I hope our listeners enjoyed it. I think they probably did, don't you?
Absolutely.
Our next guest is going to be on February 8th for our next show, which is Ellie Venn, and she is a singer-songwriter. And she has a song out there to help the kids, and she's a big advocate for, anti-bullying. So that's what that song's about. We'll find out more about it and more about her on February 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Today's information will be on take2radio.com. We'll have the book info there, where to buy it, who it's from, and so on and so forth. So check it out. If you missed the previous 2 episodes, you can listen to them there as well. And I think that's it. We're going to call it a night. So thanks, Drea. You did a great job.
Thanks. Also, listeners, you also could download it on iTunes for free.
Yep.
Upload it right after we finish recording. You always forget to mention that.
That's right.
Yes, you could download it for free. It's in the podcast area. Just search Take Two Radio, and you'll find Take Two Radio Junior, and we'll be right there. And you can listen to us anytime.
Right.
All right, we're ready for the applause.
It's very, very easy. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you again on February 8th. Good night.
Night.